Yes, hi. My name is Lorane Sykes. I am 45 years old. I was born in Chico, California, and I grew up military. My dad was in the Air Force, 32 years, and life was something else growing up in the military. Um, the last grade I completed was 8th grade. However, I did get my GED, but the last grade I actually completed was the 8th grade, and believe it or not, I actually became a published writer, a published author. And in wanting to share my story, my life, I never write about anything that I have not myself been through. So my book that's published, that's out there right now, is about so many different, the triumphs and the tragedies and all these different things about my life that has shaped me and made me the person I am today. And I would love to share that, with you as a reader. I
What's the name of the book?
It is Our Outer Angels and Inner Demons in Poem. And just to share my synopsis, that's what I'm going to do. There are so many ways to offload our hurt, pain, and anger, reinforcing those negative thoughts and feelings within ourselves only to make us weaker and more isolated from the world and ourselves. Look within yourself for change, not what you have been told about who you are in a negative, demeaning way. Please comfort yourself, support yourself, uplift yourself. When you love yourself, when you self-examine in patience and love, you will find that although it may hurt and be very painful, it is not the end of who you are, only the beginning. You can also make it through to the other side, as I. These poems I have written were birthed through triumph and pain. And I am a better person for experiencing life at its hardest, a joyful person for understanding that without pain, there would be no cause for the joy that I feel. Love and live.
Well, can you tell us where your book's placed at?
You can get it from Barnes & Noble, Shattered Cover, Amazon, eBay. If you Google my name or Yahoo my name, that's the best way to find the discounted books at other smaller discount stores, because there's actually quite a few of copies that I have seen that are on Google and Yahoo in just all different kinds of stores.
Is this book in English or various foreign languages, or just English?
No, it's in many different languages. And being that it's in many different languages, I actually have had a chance to read about other viewers in other countries about what they thought of a poem that helped them. And they translate it for me, Yahoo does, and I have these other languages that I actually get to talk to people in and see what they think about the book and everything. Again, if you just Google my name or Yahoo my name, Lorane J. Sykes, Lorane J initial Sykes, Sykes. And so I'm really excited. I did want to share, that's all right, I do want to share a poem that is going to go into my next poetry book, so that's kind of like a treat. So, also,
I've also heard that it might be good reading experiences for people picking up this book on a college campus, and also spiritual uplifting.
yeah, I was Barnes and Noble's categorized my book as a teaching book, and it is used on college campuses for students, and from what I understand, it's psychology, which is something else considering I only had an 8th grade education. But
You can always learn something from everybody.
I agree. I agree. I agree. So, okay, let me just get this going here. One of the other things I wanted to share too is I did not have, if you ever get a chance to read my book, I did not have, I guess you could say, like a normal childhood. I, you know, just to throw some things out there, I was 14 years old when I ran away from home, and I got raped and got pregnant with my 30-year-old son. And my dad, being a chaplain in the Air Force, told me I'd be an embarrassment to him if I stayed being pregnant and belly all showing and everything. I'd be an embarrassment to him. And he said if I did choose to keep my son Piers, then he was going to kick me out. So he kicked me out. My dad was already very abusive, just all kinds of abuse that you could possibly think of. And because of that, I was so happy that he kicked me out of the house, and I'm pregnant. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I was actually happy to be away from him, and that started my life. My first marriage was at 15. My second child was at 15 in marriage. My third child was at 17. My daughter that I had at 15. I had a son at 14, and I had my daughter at 15. Then I had another daughter at 17. But my daughter that I had when I was 15 years old, when I was 6 months pregnant with my other daughter, when I was 17, she fell and hit her head, and she died instantly. And there went my first baby girl. All that, I've had so much of my life that has been played out in many different lifetimes. I mean, more than you put a whole group of people together, and I seem to have had a lot of life, especially with tragedy and hurt. But you have to understand that God is a just God. God is a good God. And we do get tired. We do get weary. And it's God himself that says, hey, I'm giving you a break today. You don't have to worry about anything. Let it go. I got this one today. And because he has done that throughout time with me, throughout my entire life, I get weary. Yes, I get tired. But I'm still here. I'm still here, and I still have the drive, and I still have not given up on God, my Savior. I have not. And I thank him, you know, so much for everything he's given me, all the things he's done for me. You know, this has been beautiful to be able to get a book published. I didn't self-publish. Publish America, at the time it was Publish America, now it's called America Star Books, but at the time, Publish America, back in 2009, when I went under contract, 7-year contract with them, they liked my book, and I didn't submit it in a regular submitted way. I had a little secret that I went through a back door, but they really loved it, and they offered me a contract. But not only did they offer me a contract, Durant's Publishing offered me a contract, and a couple of other publishing companies that offered me a contract also. So they went on and published, Publish America went on and published my book. They allowed me to keep the most rights to my book, which I really appreciated. And from that, it's just been a blessing. It's just been a blessing. I know that nowadays, from what I'm seeing, there's not really publishing companies that are just like publishing your book like they did mine. So it's just a lot of, you're having to get your own money together and do your own book. But so I was very blessed. I mean, to just walk right onto the scene and boom, and there I had a book out there in all these different languages overseas, Japan, China, Taiwan, Mexico, I mean, oh, even Turkish. I know, I was like, wow, that's pretty deep, but, so, you know, it's, if you consider the life that I have had, I can say this, I had I had 5 children altogether, but I have 4 living kids. My children are 30, 26, 23, and 17. And I raised them babies. I raised my kids. I didn't know about welfare until, years later. And I did a lot of hustling, got out there, and, I learned how to make my own baby formula, so I didn't have to worry about buying that. I didn't know about WIC back then. And so we're talking about the 80s and the early 90s, so I'm blessed. None of my kids are in prison. My children aren't being arrested all over the place. All of my children only have one child, and they were born in marriage. And I'm really proud of my kids, because considering my 30-year-old had a mom at 14, like, you would think that all the wrong things could possibly go wrong. And those were the things in my life that God made so right. I love those kids. I don't care how I got pregnant with those kids. There is not a thing that those children could ever do to me, even how a couple of them came about, that I could ever hate, deny, or reject. I love my babies, and I thank God, and I do, for giving me the responsibility of being able to love and rear and raise my kids.
So you would say that the episodes that you had during your life is reflected in your book, or telling how you felt after that, how grateful you are, or how much stronger it might have made you, or is that just a portion that you wrote about?
No, when you read poems in my book, you're gonna read a story, but it's a real life story. It's something I actually went through, and I'm talking about the feelings and emotions that I had at that moment, that I felt with that person or people, and I brought that to my poetry. And in writing that, it's really expressing the love, or the concern, or the fear, or the joy, just all these different emotions. You have homeless poems in there, because I've been homeless before. I've actually been homeless several times, but I've been homeless before. I have poems in there because I've been raped. I have poems in there that talk about Christ and how I see, God, as far as His strength and the things that He's shown me throughout my lifetime. Those poems are in there. Poems about love. When I mean, like, just love, like like you have a partner and you want to cherish and love that partner so that partner knows that they are very, very special to them, but only to them. And those are the other types of poems I also have in there. They're about, you know, love and that one single special love that's for one person and one person only.
And what's the title of your book again, and where can they get it, Miss Sykes?
Yes, it is Our Outer Angels and Inner Demons in Poem. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, you can get it at Amazon, you can get it at eBay. It's just a lot simpler and faster because it's in so many little bookstores that if you Google my name, Lorane, Lorane, middle initial J, last name Sykes, S as in Sam, YKES. And I didn't share what I wanted to about, I have a helmet on my head, and I do want to let you know that 3.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. And that is something that the neurologist said it does come along late in some people's lives. But for me, it came 3.5 years ago. And along with me having severe anemia, because my body won't absorb iron. And then I have to break down my medication because my stomach won't absorb my medication. And there's just a lot of health things, you know, it's just a lot of health things, but I can still sit here and say today that I still love the Lord. I still love who I am and who God is continually making me. I love that. And I love people, and I try hard let God use me to uplift other people through my trials, my tribulations, but also the joy. You can't forget the joy.